Sim Racing 454 here, and welcome to another track review. Today we're looking at Daytona 2017 version 1.0. It was converted by Terra21 and Jim Lloyd. This was a R-Factor 2 conversion in which they obviously updated the textures and whatnot to work with Assetto Corsa. And as you can see, we are driving the 2017 mid-engined Porsche 911 RSR, which I think is appropriate given it's the 24-hour Rolex of a Daytona track and car. So let's give it a go. Now, one of the first things that I noticed is as soon as you come onto the pit exit, the release is not in the right spot. It's going to release for us right here, but in real life it releases much earlier, so I wish that would be fixed. Now I have cold, soft tires on the car, which they take about a lap to heat up. You can see the Ferris wheel out on the left. So we're coming towards the start of our first time lap. We're crossing the finish line right here. And then we're going to brake hard down into turn one, which you really need to get a lot of, dancing with the pedals to get it to go in deep. Into turn one, you're going to notice the brake spot kind of go into the grass there on the left, which don't use that as a reference, otherwise you'll be putting your tires on the grass and spin out. There's a great feel of the track on the infield. Like, it feels excellent. The bumps are there. It feels great. Looks great. Now I can take a different driving line into this corner than what it is in real life. I'm just going to use it since it's a faster lap time. And then we're going to come on to the bank, which I think has an accurate degree to it. But the problem you're going to notice here in just a second is it's insanely bumpy. Like, you need to get like a Superman grip on the wheel just to keep it from wiggling your way out. I mean, I could not imagine this on a high torque direct drive wheel. And then into the bus stop, where I find the curves are not that accurate. They're not as big as there should be. But the actual layout of those curves is, or the bus stop itself is quite good. Again, this portion is just crazy bumpy. Now, I've looked at the telemetry and whatnot. It doesn't show that the car is bottoming out, and I've tried different spring rates, and so far I haven't been able to tune that out to anything respectable. It's just something I guess you'd have to live with, and I think it would be horrible to do that for 24 hours. So despite a little blemishes in the track, the layout or the curbing and the bumps or whatnot, overall it's still a very good track. I think the actual, I guess you want to call it like a GPS roadmap of the track, seems pretty accurate to me. The banking of the corners, the radius of the corners, it all feels good. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if anybody's ever driven an endurance race in this track. I would love to know just how sore their arms have got after 2 hours or so of driving with the banking on here. Maybe it's a setup thing. Maybe it's a car thing. I have not driven with other cars around it, just this one right here. But I can definitely tell that this one is a handful on the banks. Everywhere else it's not too bad, but the banks are quite stiff. So, anyways, let's get moving on to the track cameras and the AI. I tested the AI in 2 different races. First, I tried a race with several different GT cars, and I found I was basically racing through the groups of the same car. So say Corvettes, then Ferraris, then Audis. And because I was driving a 2017 GT-LM car, the race wasn't all that competitive as I climbed up to second place from 30th in just 4 laps. I then tried a race with a full 43 grid of Porsche RSRs, and while there was some decently fun racing, I again didn't find it all that competitive, as I was about 2 seconds faster than the next fastest car. Some of that could be because the AI used medium tires and I used softs, but my times with mediums in the same conditions were still under the AI's times. The biggest plus I'd say about the AI is there is no unusual crashing or dive bombs or trips off the track, etc. I had it set to 50% aggression, and the AI is very pleasant to race against once I was side by side with them. As for the cameras, the developers gave us 4 sets of track cameras, which is excellent. I did find most of the views were from quite a distance away with just a slightly different angle, but honestly that's a lot like you'd see from a real televised race. Now let's go to my time lapse. So that's Daytona 2017. There are a few things that are just kind of weird. One to mention is, why is there a track crew right there? So if you miss the bus stop, you're going to crash into everybody. That's a little weird. But overall, the track is still very good. I mean, we have a very well detailed track. The modeling of all the the structures, the banking, the fences is top notch. From that point of view, it's excellent. But there are just a few things that I think could be a little bit improved on, which would really make this track a lot of fun to drive, more so than it already is, I guess. One of the other things I think would make this track just incredible is a night version, or if Assetto Corsa ever gets a night time, like so you can actually transition time into the nighttime. I think this track would just be incredible. But I should mention this track also comes with the oval version, which in my opinion I would say is actually funner to have races on. I've only had one, but it was a blast. But the driving of this track is still very good. So anyways, leave a like if you can, comments if you want, and if you can also please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.